this reading is for you if you are unraveling your karmic debts. You have this card. It says you're on a karmic path, so you can unravel the mysteries of your karmic debts. You have this path to knowledge. It says you are journeying into the realm of knowledge to assist in your personal goals. I also feel like luck here coming up, or it's like I think you're there's something about karma being attached to your luck or how lucky you are, and maybe you are becoming more lucky or increasing your luck by kind of like unraveling those karmic debts. And we're going to look into it. We're going to do a Celtic cross here. So the first card is how you are entering into the reading. We have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is kind of like slow, steady progress and or doing something. Very lucky here. So I feel like you're doing something to make more progress in life. But there is like something that you need to see with that karmic path card, right? Knight of Pentacles is a little bit too slow. He's not necessarily bad, and he he can represent progress, but he needs to plant seeds in this field behind him so that they can grow. And, you know, I feel that part of some of you, it's like, you know, I feel like I'm reading for a group of people that have good ideas. I think you have a lot of ideas, but that could be very lucky. That could change your luck in your life. But at the same time, it's like you have to follow through on the ideas. So I feel that I'm speaking to a group of people that, you know, have the juice, but just need to plant the seeds with the Knight of Pentacles, and that's what I would make sure you do. Your crossing energy is the Eight of Cups. The crossing energy can be what hurts you or helps you in a reading. And the Eight of Cups is about not settling. So I feel that you need to stop settling for less. He is missing a cup right here, and he's choosing to walk into darkness. You know, it's almost like you have an idea, or I'm reading for a group of people that have an idea that's like much bigger than where you are right now. And, but it's like you're settling for the situation, or, you know, kind of staying stuck in the situation because you're not, it's like you're not exploring your future potential. And I feel that's what has to happen here. You know, you have that card, it says path to knowledge. Knowledge is great, you know, knowing something. Really, what I'm wondering is if that card should say path to wisdom. Wisdom is using what you know. I feel like I'm reading for a group of people that have endless amounts of knowledge. You probably know about random ass stuff. You probably are really good at, you know, trivia night, knowing the random things that no one else knows. But I think using it and reaching your full potential is what the reading wants you to do, clearly, because you have the star as well. You have the world. The world can be like an accomplishment or an achievement, or it can be putting yourself out there so you can accomplish something. And I do feel a lot of you could be accomplishing a lot with the world card, or you're thinking about it. Again, this is the whole being on your mind. It's showing up in the area of what's on your mind. So I feel you think about things that you could accomplish that would maybe change your luck in your life or change your world in some way. And clearly the reading wants you to bring those ideas down to earth and wants you to work on the things that you've always just thought about. And, you know, it's like I think you get to that point where you get started and then lose steam. And so I think this reading is also talking about pushing past that point where you normally lose steam on something. And you, even if you do lose steam, it's like, what can you do to maintain something and push through that beginning stage where, you know, like an idea becomes almost boring. And if you do that, good things will happen. You have the Page of Pentacles in your foundation, which is actually very good. I like Pentacle cards in the foundation position because they are foundational. And the Page of Pentacles is a card of studiousness and learning. I think you've done enough learning, but I think it's time to learn by doing now, is what the reading is saying. It's like the next step of your learning on your journey. And he's very good at learning. He's also very good at starting something. I think it's no mistake that this reading is coming up today as well. Today is April 8th of 2026. Now, this is a timeless reading for whenever you find it, but definitely if you're watching this in April of 2026, it makes sense. We have a ton of energy going into Aries, and we're going to have a new moon on the 17th in Aries as well. So it's like, I think this reading is trying to get you motivated to get started before or during this new moon, or even after. So that you can get, like, it's like you need to achieve liftoff, you know, is what is going on here. In your past, you have the Six of Wands. I feel like you've tasted victory in the past. I think you've had some wins in the past that should motivate you. Sometimes I feel with the Star card, which is coming up in the area of your future feelings that we have to zoom out. Star is about getting a bird's eye view. So you might be thinking like, oh, my goal is too hard to accomplish, or I'm not going to be able to do it. But with the star, if we gain that top-down perspective and we look at what we have accomplished, it can make what we want to accomplish a lot easier, because you could be saying to yourself, well, wait a second. I've already done things that are like 10 times harder or 10 times more difficult than what I'm about to do, and that can make it a lot easier. Next, in the area of your very near future, I feel like this is where you are, Nine of Swords, just going round and round and round. I think you have ideas, you think about things that would change your luck, change your life, make things very successful, but you're just in Groundhog's Day. And, it's almost like you need to get comfortable being uncomfortable in some ways. This isn't even discomfort. He is very uncomfortable. The story of the card is that he's in pain, but he's not in enough pain to make something change. So it's like he could have a job, for example, and maybe he doesn't really like the people he works with. So that's the pain part of it. The problem is sometimes we can be in a situation like that where we're afraid to leave because maybe the job gives us benefits or pays us a certain amount of money, but so do other jobs, right? And so the trick with the Nine of Swords is to realize that the situation you're in might not be that great. Even if your situation might just be, it's like maybe you're dreaming of something that really changes your luck, changes your life in the future, but you're just sitting there thinking about it. It's like you're kind of in pain because your life could be a lot better. And I feel like this card is saying it's time to get out of that situation. Again, he is receiving comfort. He has this blanket on his lap, which is a comfort blanket. So it's, again, the situation's causing him pain, but it's still, because he gets a paycheck or because he gets something out of the situation, he's not walking away. But the reading is saying don't settle. Next, in the area of the next few months, very good. You have the Ace of Cups, so this is why I'm not too worried about the reading, because I feel like you're going to be getting out of the situation. I would really take advantage of the energy around the 17th. And again, even if you're watching this in like 2027, 2028, I feel that the 17th could be an important day of whatever month you're watching this in, or like the middle of the month could be an important time. And the Ace of Cups wants you to get into the flow. The Ace of Cups can reach down below it and fill itself back up. So it's about doing things that you can do endlessly, doing things that fulfill your heart. And that's what I would focus on the most with the Ace of Cups is personal fulfillment, doing more of the things that cause you to overflow. Next, in the area of your closest relationships, you have the Ace of Pentacles. This is all relationships in your life. And the Ace of Pentacles could be like an opportunity. So again, if you're trying to grow something or you're on this path of like starting something new, walking away from things you've been settling on, this could say that there are relationships in your life or there are people in your life that could really help you out and really help you grow. The other important thing with this card is I look at this as like having a garden, and we have to nurture it. We have to water it, feed it, fertilize it. But, this could say that getting attention on the thing that you're working on, that could be like the food that feeds it. And so making sure that if you're working on, especially if you're working on new jobs, new projects, new businesses, making sure you're surrounding yourself with people who feed it, that would be very important with this card. Could also be like that people want to help you, and so you have to like ask for help here. Next, in your future feelings, you have the Star card, which is amazing. Stars, hope, faith, renewal, sometimes like a wish or getting a wish. I also think it's talking about like the whole possibility thing. She's pouring water onto the earth here, and that water comes from the pool of universal consciousness right here. This represents what's possible for one person is possible for everyone. So I'm definitely talking to people right now that are probably limiting themselves by not working on, one thing, like a big dream or something that will change your luck. And, I think it's time to get moving. You have the Six of Swords as your outcome, which is great. Moving on to calmer shores, major improvements. I really feel that you're like setting yourself up for a smoother life is kind of what the Six of Swords is saying. They're in choppy waters right now. Clearly, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, with the Nine of Swords, you are clearly in choppy waters right now. And I think you need to get out of those choppy waters. I think what's torturing you is that you do know what to do, is what that Path to Knowledge card is really saying. It's like you do know what you should be working on. And this could be karmic because, it's like that karmic debts card could say maybe in past lives you never reached your full potential and now it's time. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Really helps me out if you want more of these readings. You have the Knight of Pentacles. With the Knight of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups, you have the Eight of Wands, which is like charging forward. Again, this is kind of like the fear of success in some ways. Like, if I make this change, if I walk away from what I've been settling on, and I become successful, then what? Or really what's popping into my head is maintenance. Like, sometimes I think that happens where it's like you come up with an idea where that could be very successful, that could change your life. But the fear is like, will I be able to maintain it for a long period of time? The answer is yes. With the World, you have the Seven of Swords. Like, you're asking, is something real or is something fake? Is this idea I have actually going to be something I can create in the world? Will I be able to handle it? Can I do the work? The Seven of Swords is also like another genius card. The Seven of Swords is a good card. I don't care what anyone says. It is a golden card. Golden cards in the tarot are meant to be positive no matter what. And so he is sneaking away from this army in the background. It just says, whatever your idea is, clearly, if this reading's for you, you have an idea or something. And maybe you just need to change your approach. He also has these polka dots on his cloak, which would represent taking things too seriously. So I do feel like you are making something harder than it needs to be that you need to get started on, for sure. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Wands. Maybe you've tried in the past to get something to grow. I specifically feel this is for a group of people that have definitely tried whatever you're thinking about or have tried something similar. Nine of Wands says you've learned a lot. Again, you've gained a lot of knowledge. Now it's time to turn it into wisdom. He's not giving up. He's trying one more time. With the Six of Wands, you have the Queen of Swords, which is good. Queen of Swords, she is clear for the first time. And so she can say you're coming off of a period of time where you have finally gotten clarity about what you should be doing. And so, again, I think if you're wondering, like, is this a good idea? Like, whatever you're thinking about doing right now, the answer is yes. You are perfectly clear on the situation. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Knight of Wands. Yeah, time to explore. He just needs to simply get out of this bed, right? That's what's causing him pain. That's why he is in Groundhog's Day, is because he just stays in bed. He has a nightmare, he wakes up, he's in a nightmare, and he just is stuck in the cycle of living a nightmare. And so the easy thing for him to do would be to get out of bed and like go on an adventure or go do something fun. The other thing I'm getting here is consistency. Remember what I said? I think that some of you have an idea that you've been thinking about doing, and then when you get started, you lose steam. And so the Knight of Wands, he doesn't want us to be perfect. He just wants us to be consistent. A lot of readers read him as inconsistent energy, which is definitely true. But obviously, tarot is not a prison sentence. Every card has a solution. The solution is to be consistent with something. And so even if you just take like one step a day towards whatever you're doing, I think that'll be enough. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Eight of Swords. Again, still needing to set yourself free. This is all about solutions because we have the Seven of Swords as well. She's only looking at one way to solve her problem when there are many ways that she could potentially solve her problem. Sometimes they say that the solution to the Eight of Swords is the Seven of Swords because he's doing something in a different way. So really, I feel this is saying don't get stuck in a routine. Even the Nine of Wands is my card of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. So I think it would be very beneficial for you to experiment with what you're working on. With the Ace of Pentacles, you have the King of Swords. Yes, King of Swords is a mentor. King of Swords, I even think of the Star sometimes as having something that is an inspiration. So again, if you can find another person who has done what you're doing, and you can model that person. Of course, we don't want to copy and we don't want to become that person, but I think having a person to look up to, whether they're physically in your life or not, right? Like I have people in my life that are dead that I study all the things that they've taught. I do the things that they, tell people to do and all that other stuff, right? And it doesn't have to be a man either. It could be any gender of a person that is helping you kind of become successful. But I almost feel you need a model, or the Star is saying you need something to model, and because I think that it's like possibility is a word that keeps popping into my head, and I think that seeing that something is possible is kind of like maybe 10% is like the 10% that will push you over the edge to make you take action on what you're thinking about here, collective. So there you go. With the Star card, you have the Seven of Pentacles, which is a change in direction. Seven of Pentacles is my card that says, is the juice worth the squeeze? You know, which clearly it's not with the Nine of Swords and the Eight of Cups. You know, so I think the Seven of Pentacles, we have to look at what we've been investing our time, effort, energy, attention into, and we need to say, like, is it worth it for me to keep investing in this, or is there something better that I could be doing with my time? And again, I can't answer that question for you. Only you can answer that question, but I would with this card. For your outcome, love it. You have the World, which is amazing, which is an accomplishment or achievement. So like literally this reading is saying you are going to accomplish what's on your mind. Plain and simple. Very good reading. I love when that happens. So you're taking something that you've been thinking about and actually moving towards it and making it happen. Pretty freaking simple. So this is amazing. Thank you for being here. Make sure to like, subscribe, do all the good stuff, and definitely enjoy your week.